Now you worked at that shop when this man was killed, correct?
Objection, relevance.
He can answer that.
Right? You worked at the shop when this man was killed, correct?
Yes.
And you were a manager, right?
I'm not sure of my position.
But you had control over the cameras and those kind of things, correct?
Negative.
You had no control over the cameras?
No, sir.
Not as the manager of the store?
No.
I'm going to continue objection beyond the scope of my direct examine, and it's irrelevant to the termination. He's not been terminated
beyond the scope of direct, and I question its relevance.
I'll ask a different question. You moved your car right before the manager of the store was shot, correct?
If you're asking me if I moved my car...
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
When we were leaving the store?
Yes.
Yes.
And your car just happened to block in the manager's car as well as another car,
I'm going to object
correct?
to that. Again, the blocking in, the video speaks for itself. I don't think that's what the video showed.
Right.
This is beyond the scope of direct, and it's irrelevant to his termination.
That's what happened, right?
No.
Okay. So your car didn't block in the manager's car at the time?
No.
All right. You knew that the manager was making a large cash deposit?
I'm going to continue my objection.
He does not have to answer. We're going into the scene of the crime, what happened at the crime, and he does not have to answer.
You're taking the fifth, Mr. Rodriguez?
I'm sorry?
Are you taking the fifth?
Well, let's hear the next question.
Are you taking the fifth on this question?
Let me hear what the next question is. We don't have one.
You knew that the manager was taking a large sum of cash that day to the bank, right?
I'm going to.
He doesn't.
Listen,
we're going into the facts of the crime,
and
I'm not going to
to take the Fifth Amendment. It's an ongoing criminal investigation. As their witnesses have already pointed out, this is an ongoing criminal investigation that they're working in conjunction with at this particular time, and I'm instructing them to take a fifth to that answer.
Okay. Since that day, you have never, although you were sworn, let's start here, you were a sworn police officer that day, correct?
Which day?
The day that the homicide detectives call you in
to
talk to you, right?
Yes.
The oath didn't change from the day you started being a police officer to the day they call you in, correct?
Correct.
All right, now, when they ask you, when they make it known that they're looking at your dad, you get up and walk out, correct?
I seek counsel.
That's not my question. You get up and walk out of the room, correct?
I'm not sure it was right after they said something about my father, but I feel like my father is... You guys are questioning me about my father possibly being part of an investigation. That I was there that day. Yes, I'm going to seek counsel. I did walk out.
Okay.
Nine Miami police officer fired in last 3 years, but they all got their jobs back. Over the past 3 years, 9 Miami police officers have been fired accused of everything from unjustly shooting a suspect to sleeping on the job to firing a gun in a drunken rage while off duty. All but one of them have gotten their jobs back through an automatic review process called arbitration. The latest officer dismissed, Adrian Rodriguez, is being investigated for his suspected role in a decade-old robbery and murder. Nonetheless, an arbitrator last month ordered him returned to the job. Fed up with the string of losses in police arbitration hearings, city officials are now planning to ask a Miami-Dade judge to overturn the Rodriguez decision, a step they haven't pursued in previous cases. It's rarely a successful legal tactic, but one the police brass argues is forced by the prospect of allowing a suspect in a murder case to return to active duty. This is a case we have to appeal, Miami Police Chief Rodolfo Lanez told the Miami Herald. Adrian cannot return to the streets as a police officer. Rodriguez's union-appointed lawyer, Eugene Gibbons, called any appeal frivolous and bound to fail. Arbitrators are agreed upon by lawyers on both sides, he said. The arbitrator was hired to do exactly what he did. They're just not happy with the result, Gibbons said. It's a stall tactic. They don't want Adrian to go back to work. Rodriguez's case underscores the difficulty in firing police officers who have not been charged for any crimes, and the city's woeful track record in making them stick. Only once in 9 challenges has an arbitrator upheld a police officer firing in the last 3 years. Miami Police Chief Rodolfo Lanez, pictured here at a May 2017 press conference, says the city will appeal an arbitrator's decision to reverse the firing of a cop being investigated for a homicide. CM Guerrero, Miami Herald. As for the 8 officers awarded their jobs back, all save one are back on the force. He wound up resigning, even after winning in arbitration. Under the city's collective bargaining agreements with various workforce unions, any permanent employee who has been disciplined is entitled to an arbitration hearing. The decisions by the arbitrators, who are specially trained lawyers, are generally binding under Florida law. Heard by state circuit judges, appeals are rarely successful because Florida law restricts the reasons why an arbitration decision can be reversed. Those include proving misconduct, fraud, or partiality by an arbitrator, not necessarily the merit of the decision or interpretation of the facts. Arbitration awards have a high degree of finality to them, said Miami labor lawyer Terry Goodman Valdez, who handles police firing cases but is not involved in Rodriguez's case. There are very limited means by which you can seek to vacate them. Controversial arbitration agreements involving police officers are not new. They happen in municipalities across South Florida. Miami Beach Sergeant Michael Muley was caught drinking while in uniform on South Beach, but was given his job back last year through arbitration. 2 years earlier, a Miami Beach cop who blamed his positive drug test on a cocaine-infused erectile dysfunction cream got his job back through arbitration. Across the causeway, the city of Miami has been more aggressive about terminating employees for misconduct in recent years, and that has meant more arbitration hearings. A 10th officer who was fired pursued a different legal route and also was awarded his job back by a circuit court judge. Attorney Gibbons, appointed through the Fraternal Order of Police, said the city is trying to bully us around. The FOP president, Javier Ortiz, said, when the city puts in effective leadership to handle these cases, they might actually win. Many of their actions are personal, which is why the FOP wins 98% of the time. Arbitration also has benefited employees outside the police department since 2015. At least 3 other employees have gotten their jobs back, including a public works employee fired after she missed 3 days of work for threatening a co-worker with a baseball bat. As for police, most famously, Miami police officer Reynaldo Goyos in 2014 got his job back for a controversial fatal police shooting of an unarmed motorist following a traffic stop. Though Goyos was cleared criminally under Florida law, the department fired him after a firearms review board ruled the shooting unjustified. But an arbitrator ruled in his favor. Goyos returned to the force. As for Rodriguez, homicides detectives have been investigating his role in the 2007 murder of a cell phone store manager, a killing that happened shortly before Rodriguez became a cop. The story was first reported by the Miami Herald. Rodriguez was an employee at the Metro PCS store when gunmen shot and killed his colleague, Yspel Millers, in the parking lot in Robbery Gone Wrong. Rodriguez was interviewed the day of the murder, but was not suspected of playing a role at the time.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheep up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. but my wife would love it if some, you know, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, you know, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, you know, at least I can do it. You know, 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt-free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea, too, that we have is, you know, if I got, you know, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. You know, 47,000 of you so far right now. You know, $1 a day. I mean, $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.